Right, what's up everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Infinity Saga Quicksilver. This is the first MCU Quicksilver we have ever received. He is a character that has been absent from probably everyone's MCU display aside from customs, and he's been highly anticipated. So let's get to talking about it. So first off, we get this typical Infinity Saga packaging, cool Avengers logo, barcode on the bottom, Age of Ultron on the top, Quicksilver, Age of Ultron. The side we get all those Infinity Saga characters. Very cool, mostly all of them. And then we get the Age of Ultron poster. And on the back it says, Quicksilver's ultra high speed capabilities are a major asset to the Avengers in the fight against Ultron. So without further ado, let's actually talk about the figure. So first off, we get these bits and pieces of Ultron. They're very nicely sculpted, metallic looking. Very, very happy with these. It just looks like it was, got the hell beat out of it. So that's awesome. Chest piece here. We get an arm as well, not articulated or anything. Kind of a missed opportunity. Not a big deal though. Looks very cool. All metal. Very, very nice looking. Good sculpt. Great paint. Then we get a head here, which, correct me if I'm wrong, it seems kind of small, the head. Like, I don't know. Just seems kind of tiny. Maybe I'm totally way off here, but looks good. Otherwise, I like the sculpt. Then he does come with two fisted hands, which have consistent colors with the rest of the costume, and are sculpted very nicely and are nicely proportioned as well. Then we do get two of these, pointy hands, whatever the hell is going on here, because he runs like this in the movie, I think. For the most part, the sculpt is pretty dope in my opinion. I'm very pleased with it. The only thing, it's not entirely consistent with these hands, because as you can see, this finger only has one gray spot. Same with this one. These are all gray. So I don't know what happened there, but I'll probably repaint that and check the movie, the source material, and see what was going on there with the costume. But paint definitely has some problems there on the hands. Looks kind of rough, to be honest. On this hand, same thing, kind of rough paint, in my opinion. But I mean, they're nicely sculpted, just a few paint issues. And now just getting the biggest problem right out of the way here. And you got to let me know if any of you have this problem as well. My arm is incredibly loose to the point where you can just pop it right off the peg. I'm not sure if I should just heat that up and that would fix that, or if that's just a problem with the manufacturer and how this all came to be. But you can see when I move him, his arms have a tendency to really want to come off, which is super disappointing and absolutely irritating. This arm is pretty much fine. Little bit of separation, nothing too crazy. But this left arm, my left, is just awful. Oh my gosh. Aside from that, I think they nailed this figure. The Aaron Taylor Johnson head sculpt, in my opinion, is pretty accurate. I think there's a little bit too much beard hair. It looks a little too scruffy. But aside from that, I actually think they nailed it. I'm pretty pleased with this. Some people are kind of iffy on it personally. I'm digging it. I don't think it's too bad. It reminds me of Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'm happy. The hair, on the other hand, pretty good. Definitely looks like some splotchy paint here, but I do like the shadowing, the brown throughout. It's like a really, really dark brown though. But for the most part, I think it captures what he looked like, and I actually really enjoy, the hair and whatever. It looks good. And it is like a very soft plastic too. So it looks pretty decent. I'm very pleased with that. So as for the rest of the figure, the outfit is pretty much accurate to the movies. The proportions are absolutely phenomenal, very human looking. These MCU figures, man, are just really, they knock it out of the park with these, in my opinion. And this guy is a great example of that. Aside from his arm problem, I think he's literally a perfect figure. Maybe they could have added an ab crunch in there. That would have been cool. Or again, I like that classified pocketed joint in there that they put in, that swivel right in the waist. That would have been dope to see, but Marvel Legends isn't really known for that. However, for what we have here by Marvel Legends standards, this is just absolutely ideal in my opinion. The texturing throughout the outfit is great. I'd say it's heavier up top than on the waist, so that's kind of problematic. That kind of sucks. But all throughout it looks really good. The paint is incredibly clean aside from those hands. Like the silver paint, very, very clean. Just looks absolutely phenomenal. Very good paint job overall, just disregarding the hands completely. The pants have literally no paint on them at all. Just straight black plastic, which I guess makes sense considering they're black pants, but it would have been cool to get some extra paint on there for a $26 figure. And the shoes as well look absolutely awesome. The feet are good proportions, and the sculpt is really good. And I love the paint. They included that green paint on the bottom. But the musculature of him, the mold, everything is just very on point. And I'm overall incredibly pleased with this guy. So, looking at his articulation, his head is on a dumbbell joint, but it still goes up very, very far because the back actually has a little cut there. So that's a nice little feature. And it's not incredibly visible because of his hair. So his head can go up very far. And again, take pointers from that G.I. Joe line. I really like how they still have, well, here, I'll show you. So this is the movie Snake Eyes. His neck actually has a swivel, and the top of his neck actually has a disc hinge. So yeah, the head goes back very far, goes forward very far, does have a really nice pivot, great organic looking movement, very human looking. The arms go up pretty far. Got to be careful not to bend that too much. Look at that. They go very far. Very, very nice. They do rotate all the way around, of course. There is a 360 swivel at the bicep. Then there are double jointed elbows with pinless tech. That's great. There is a horizontal hinge at the wrist and a rotation on both hands. Same thing. This swivel here at the abs actually goes forward pretty far and goes back about that far, nothing too crazy. But there is a nice pivot in there as well and that rotation. Then there is a, I hate that, man. What is this? Fix it. Again, Snake Eyes for reference. Look at that. Beautiful, man. Oh my God. This, nah, dude, no. But with that aside, and I get that's by Marvel Legends standards, that's pretty typical and it's all cool, but those classified figures, man, I love that. They do have the drop down hips, which is another thing we see in the classified series that they just started doing, and I like that personally. It opens up a lot of posing capabilities. The legs don't go too far back, but of course they do go far forward. There's a rotation at the thigh as well. They do go pretty far out, so that's great. They do have double jointed knees with no pins there, so that's great. And there's even texturing on the knees, so that's pretty cool. They made an effort to make that a little more appealing and not so rough looking, so that's great. And then there is a hinge here at the foot, and to actually get this to go up, it might kind of catch on his leg there, as you can see. Just kind of push it forward a little bit when you're doing it, and you'll be just fine. And there is an ankle pivot as well, which is always beautifully done. Then here he is next to Wanda and Vision, and he looks phenomenal next to both of them. Very cool lineup. And I think for the most part, the heights are accurate. I'm not sure how tall Paul Bettany is, but he's definitely the right height with Elizabeth Olsen to be accurate. And both those face scans, they just look great together. Then he looks fantastic next to the Mark III Iron Man. Then here he is next to Snake Eyes, which in my opinion is like the golden standard for a figure, and they look cool together. And just so you have a really good idea of the height, here he is next to the Bucky Cap mold, the new Cyclops, and you can see he's about the same height as Scott Summers. So at the end of the day, I do think this figure is definitely worth the $26. He's a great Marvel Legends figure. He definitely meets the standard they have set for themselves, and he definitely adds some new things that we've been seeing more, like the drop-down hips, the pinless tech, and he has a great dumbbell joint in the neck. Of course, I have my gripes with Marvel Legends in general, like how I want them to be more like the classified series in terms of articulation. But aside from that, I think this dude is just amazing. One of my favorite Legends figures at this moment, at this point in time. So definitely think you'd be a fool not to pick him up. He looks great next to the Scarlet Witch, and he is a great character who sadly got shot in the streets and treated like crap. That's an opinion. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this review. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like this video down below. Make sure to subscribe. Let me know if your Quicksilver figure has those same arm problems or if it's just a Quicksilver problem with me. I don't know. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy, get vaccinated, and most importantly, keep on collecting. Peace.